Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs Alex Gore and Lance Psycho. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Psycho.
Lance, it is good to see you.
2019, sir.
It's good to hear you. People haven't heard you. This is going on 3 weeks. Almost a
3
month.
weeks. It's just been Al, Devin Tilley, a bunch of other excellent guests.
Do you know what I've been hearing on Twitter?
No.
We want Lance. We want Lance.
Wow.
Just
make Inside the Firm.
tons.
Yeah, make Inside the Firm great again.
a person.
Memes,
No one said that.
all kinds of stuff.
So before we get into it, I got to tell two people about our partners. The first one is Enscape3D.com. If you are designing anything in Revit, SketchUp, I think it works with a couple other programs, and you need to visualize it with realistic materials. You can download it for free.
30-day trial.
And Enscape3D.com. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's a next level up.
We've used it. We're going to use it again, actually, on our development to help sell the project.
Yeah.
So we can't recommend it enough.
Yep.
Check it out yourselves. It's
And
free. Try it out for a
Yeah.
while.
The next one that's free is BIMsmith, right?
Ooh.
They have content, but they have also something I think even cooler, is that they have a assembly builder. So go check that out. It's absolutely amazing. We're using it on our cool project, our cool, awesome project. Go check them out. I, again, can't recommend that enough either.
BIMsmith.com.
Yep. So, how's it? Man, I just haven't talked to you in so long.
Literally, I haven't seen Al. Everybody should know this. I basically take this was a weird like holiday season because the New Year's fell on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
something like that. So then my kids also didn't have school all this week. So usually I take off the last 2 weeks basically entirely. And this time because of construction, I sort of took it off. Like one night, I didn't even tell you about this. The electrician was out there working.
Yep.
And we had to we had to do this recompaction of some of the earth, right? So we have to over excavate. We have poor soils in Colorado. He was out there. The foundation guys left. I get a text from the foundation guys that go, "Hey, the site's not covered up because it needs to be covered up because we're in freezing weather, right?"
Yeah.
Guess who I had to drag out to help me cover it up? It's
One of your kids?
One of my kids. Oh, was he fighting me? He fighting me?
What time? 6 at night?
6:30 at night. It was one of the nights where it was like insanely windy in Colorado.
Yeah.
Cold.
Was it the oldest?
It was the second oldest, so my oldest bio. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
You're coming,
He
son.
hated it. He hated it. But the good thing was I got like the hate out of him.
Yeah.
As far as like having to do something like that, and I go, dude, if you want all this, these dad to do these things for you, then you gotta just buck up. You gotta just buck up, buddy. We're just if dad has you come do stuff like this, you just say yes and you do it.
Yep.
Because like what he wanted right after that was he wanted like his headphones broke or something for his Xbox, and I was like, see, if you want dad to go take you and do these things, then whenever I say, if you want dad to jump, you got to jump. How about that?
Yeah. I know for a fact because I know a dad, who's buying some shotgun shells for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I haven't seen you for a couple weeks because I've been basically out of the office. I stopped by a few times, mostly working from home from the couch, and then observing all the stuff that's going on at the job site.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Well, good. Glad to have you back.
Glad to have me back also, Al.
Excited for me.
Seriously, it's awesome. F9 is rocking. We're rolling. We are fully staffed at 8 people now, including Alex and I. We've got this bang-up awesome team ready to rock in the new year in 2019. I'm excited. The jobs numbers came out. The economy is still looking good. It's still looking nice and strong. So hopefully we have another great year and make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, I got a cool thought for you that I think dovetails into a lot of questions that people have about how to start a business and what kind of philosophy you should take, right? So there's this book. I have Audible, listened to half of it, kind of got the point and then returned the other half, but
Returned it? Did you get a refund?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You can get a refund?
Yeah,
If you
I
only
just got
listen
another one.
If you listen to half?
You can do whatever. I've returned a couple books, and here's what makes me feel bad because I listened to, let's say,
I got one right now. I thought this was going to be a good book. It's like it's something about negotiation.
Yep.
Like never meet halfway.
That's on my list. I shouldn't.
It's terrible.
Okay.
You know what? You'll love it. I'm serious. You know why you'll love it?
What?
It's this guy who is an expert, an FBI. He's a retired FBI guy. You'll love that crap.
Is he Jocko?
You're an authoritarian. You love that crap.
Is he Jocko?
And it's not even read by him, so I don't know. I'm teasing, but it's not good. I've tried twice now.
I know.
To start it, and I'm like, can't do it anymore.
I just returned one today.
Wow. I didn't know you could do this. How do you do this? You go to
purchase history.
Do you go
manage?
Do you go in the Audible and do it?
Yep. Yeah,
but not on the app.
On the computer.
On the computer, yeah.
Manage, purchase history, and then there's the little button. If you do it within like the first month, and this is why I feel bad because I don't want to do it lightly. So like I'll listen to a book.
Do it lightly?
I don't want to return lightly. You know, I don't want to return often, right? Because then I feel like I'm taking advantage of the system.
Okay.
So I'll listen to it and I'll be like 2 chapters in, I don't like it, but I bought it, so maybe I'll listen to the next 2, and then maybe it'll be good. I'm like, nope, this is terrible. Return, get out of here.
Oh man, I have like 8 days to do it. So where do I go?
Are you in purchase history?
Okay, that's where I go. Got it.
Yep.
I'm going to do this later. This is going to be great.
Good. Get in.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know what? I think they let you keep the book, which I actually wish that they didn't because I'm not going to listen to it because I didn't like it.
Yeah. How did you find out about this? I bet your wife told you all about this so you can return stuff.
Al figured it out.
That's amazing.
Googled it.
That's amazing.
So,
right.
Innovator's Dilemma. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I do actually recommend half the book. I would listen to all of it, but I'm being very selective on my books, and the content is.
I am too. It takes me longer to find a good book than it does a television show or equal. Yeah.
Yep. So, I was listening to a good book on my way back here. Have you heard of the Innovator's Dilemma?
Yes.
Do you know? Okay. Do you know the concept?
I've heard of it, but I don't know the concept, sir.
Okay. So basically, it's the advice that you get as a business. Let's say you're a business, you're established. The advice that you should pursue to be profitable, to be, do a good job for your shareholders, for your company, for everyone involved, is you need to focus on the most profitable product that you have.
Thing that you do.
Yep. Kind of get rid of the rest and make that your big snowball and push it down the hill, right? And we hear that a lot from a lot of architects, like, I'm going to specialize in custom residential homes, or I'm going to specialize in this, and I'm only going to do...
Earl Parson.
Yep.
Send us a postcard. Shout out Earl. Specializes in custom Quonset houses.
Yep. And it is a good strategy because it does give you more reward. It makes you more specialized. But here's the problem. It sows the seeds of your downfall.
Yep.
In an economic disturbance or downfall. And here's how it does it. Let's say the book is more about bigger companies, but you can relate it to architecture.
Absolutely.
Essentially, it is, I'm making disk drives, and they're 14-inch disk drives for big computers, right? And they're for NASA and the government, right? And they go, well, there's this new technology where we can make them, smaller, but they cost more. It's not right there. Hey, all of our customers that we make millions of dollars off of, do you want this thing? And they go, no, we don't want that. It's slower, doesn't work. Yeah, it's smaller, but no, just improve your 14-inch disk drive. Improve your residential Quonset architecture. That's all I want. Well, there's someone else on the sideline that's making those smaller disks, and they're making the technology, so all of a sudden they're just as good, they can hold just as much, and now they're faster. Guess what happened to your whole market?
What?
It totally disappeared because now they're buying from that guy because it's smaller, it's faster.
And they concentrate on the one thing, yeah.
Yep. So that's where it coalesced with this other. There's different types of entrepreneurs and different types of business. You can be passion-based. And there was one phrase that I saw that's more like us. Oh, some people are opportunistic-based, meaning you see an opportunity, you take it. And this is what I'm relating it to, is that I think that it's very easy and understandable for someone to advise, hey, do only one thing and do it really well. I would still advise that. I'd still think that that's an okay way to go. But the reason why F9 exists is because we took the opposite approach and we said we need to have our fingers in different opportunities so that we can't be disrupted as easily as, something else. This market goes down. That's all I've been doing. Holy cow. Now, if you were so good at that market that you made a lot of money and, you have a leeway, good. But, as soon as you make money, you spend money. So it's hard to keep it.
Yeah. So, Al, we're 3 weeks into construction. Things are happening. What did you think when you went to the site and showed Ma and Pa?
I thought, and I still think there's a lot of soil there, and we might not need to bring as much in. There's a big pile of soil.
It is a lot of dirt. Wouldn't it be great to save several $1,000s? Because that's what it would cost for us to have to bring stuff in.
I know.
Yeah. Because you go out there. That's what's really interesting about this is like, did you walk around at all and understand okay? And the elevations where everything's set, it seems right, and you can see how we're going to take the dirt and the whole site, and we're going to basically flip the way the slope goes.
Yeah.
Because so just to give everybody a quick visual, we're taking historical drainage and reversing it 180 degrees and going back out to the street, which the city liked, the neighbor liked, everybody liked. But man, it's a lot of dirt. The crappy. So what it's going to end up doing is like it's going to be a wash. That's what I'm finding is like, oh man, there's just so many like give and takes with this whole thing and washes. Like our HVAC, a couple of things came back. Alex found an awesome heating and ventilation contractor, which ended up saving us a substantial amount of money.
Yep.
And then I go, okay, great. Now I can pay for the over excavation,
and it's gone.
Yeah. One thing that was a surprise so far is so when we excavated. The excavator first just did trenches, right? And that's the most cost-effective way to do a foundation. You're not doing the whole building footprint. Well, the soils engineer came out and they tested the soil to make sure that we didn't have a swell rate over 3%. And we didn't, thank God, because then we would have had to go even further down. It would have been a bunch of more money. But the crappy thing is then they go, oh yeah, by the way, you got to take out all these interior, basically they look like islands of dirt. And that was another giant amount of money.
And why did we have to do that?
Because we're putting slab on grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I buy it.
Right. So, and slab on grade is most cost effective. Anyway, so then because we saved money with the HVAC, then that's what paid for the overX and then the recompaction.
Did it cost that much?
It was, it ate up almost all of it.
Dang.
And then the other thing, I didn't even tell you about this. The other thing is, so then because we had to over-X everything, we did both buildings at once, which means we have a giant pile of dirt. I mean, it's so much freaking dirt. It's insane. That we ended up having to, now Chencho says, he's our subcontractor, he says, oh, I'm going to have to bring a pump in. All right, how much is that? Probably $500 each time. So there's another $2,000.
Pump for what?
So the original idea, Al, was we're going to excavate one building at a time. We're going to do one building at a time. Now that we have so much dirt, and you saw how they basically have this makeshift road in the middle, between the two buildings. Okay, now we can't bring the truck all the way back there, right? And they were just gonna wheel
concrete. Yeah,
they were just gonna wheelbarrow, do a bunch of wheelbarrows. Imagine like 5-6 guys working, right? So now we have to have a pump that extends off of the truck that pumps the concrete around. It's about $500 to $1,000 each. Like, these are just things. This is just the logistics of getting into it. I keep telling myself, you just got to get through framing, Lance. If you can get through framing,
then you can bear the terror of everything else.
Yes. Yes. Then I can finally start doing, because like I haven't framed a house in so long. I just don't think this is the right time for like, oh, Lance and two other guys are gonna frame it, right? Time wise, it wouldn't work. There's too much going on. Like we have to actually be a general contractor for this stuff. But then there is a certain point where I'm like, okay, I'll put my carpenter hat back on. We're gonna do all the windows. We're gonna do all the doors. We're gonna do a lot of some of the siding, right? All trim work, name it, right? Mm-hmm. All those other things where I'm like, okay, we'll have more control. But right now, there's just the only thing I can control is like trying to work with subcontractors and get, bids in that are better and more cost effective and stuff like that, and like the insulation workaround, and all these things. So it's been interesting. But I tell you what, who I can't recommend enough,
Nick from Nick Reeds.
Nick Reeds is very good, but would be let me see, is
Mark from Entree Architects.
Payette. So it's Payette Broadmark, and that's who we went with for our financiers. If you go to if you're like us, if you're an architect developer, maybe it's your first project, maybe it's your second or third project, and you're just tired of dealing with a traditional bank, and you've afforded yourself the ability to maybe pay higher interest fees because you're wearing 3 hats like we are, and stuff like that. I can't recommend going for these guys enough. Check them out. They're not a sponsor. I would love for them to be a sponsor at some point, but it's PayettBroadmark.com. We got finance within 7 days. The draws have been on the day because we swung that money from HVAC to foundation. They swung it in 1 day, like less than a day. It's been incredible.
If you're seriously looking for money, email me at akg@f9productions.com, akg@f9productions.com, because then I can ask you some of the questions that I know. Like, okay, it needs to be within this ratio. Do you have this done? Is this here? Blah, 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 blah. Because you don't want to waste anyone's time. And me going through this process can know, okay, if you have this as this, great candidate. Let's send the information off. Here's the guy. Blah, blah, blah. So if that's you, shoot me an email.
The other cool thing that they've been doing is, and I was a little skeptical because I got this. So when we did our first draw, we did it through I think it was like their software or something. And then they switched to this other system, and it's called Built, and it's cool. It's so cool. It's so easy for me to upload the invoices I get from my contractors, and then move money around and do all of the other good stuff. And they're just on top of it. Like, I really appreciate how private sector they are. They're just, it's just not a bureaucracy. Yeah. So much easier. As soon as I made this, I made a third draw today.
Do you have Built up right now?
I do. As soon as I'd have to log in, but you can see it. Anyway, as soon as I made a draw today, a third one, our project manager over there, she calls me within 30 minutes or less. And she was like, hey, what was this last one about? And I go, oh, here's what it's for. Yeah, I should have put it on the first one. I should have even put it on the second one. She goes, oh, don't worry. Just upload these 2 things. They were drawings. And she goes, we'll approve it. No problem.
Perfect.
Get you guys paid.
Are you taking out any contractor fees?
No.
Here's one reason why to do it and a reason why not to do it. One, you could, because proportionally. You could proportionally take out an eighth or a tenth of it, right? And the reason to do that is that we're already getting charged interest on half the loan anyways. So, it's not like you're taking it out and you're adding more interest to us. It's already happening, okay? So that's a reason to do it, because then you'll have money for these other things. Like, let's say you don't want to call and waste another $150 on an inspector, and you just need to get someone started. Now, the reason not to do it is that it'll be easier to spend that money when we want to save it. So I'll leave that up to you because you're running the show. But just know it's not going to cost us any more in interest to do it.
Yeah. So will you elaborate for everybody else how this? So this is also another. This is not it's just a difference in lenders, private to somebody like a bank.
So a normal bank will say, we're going to loan you money for this amount %, 3, 5%, whatever, and we're only going to charge interest on the money that you actually take out, right? So you keep adding to a pile, keep adding more interest, keep paying more. Now, private, they'll do it a couple different ways. You might be able to get one that does it that way. What we got is they said, okay, on this whole amount, I'm just going to call it $1 million. We're going to charge interest on half of it right away, and then until you reach that point, and then we'll add on top of that, right? The amount that you take out. Some have a lower rate, but they're like, oh, we're just going to charge you 8% total. From the get-go, $1 million, always 8%. Done. It's based on a yearly. If you go over a year, then, it keeps going. So those are the 3 different ways to do it. Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know who else we haven't heard from for a long time? Weeks.
Nicholas
from Nick Reeds.
Here's Nick from Nick Reeds.
Who is also pouring concrete. I just saw he was pouring slabs the other day.
Brothers from another mother.
I know it.
Hello, best friends. Happy New Year. I hope you all had a great week this week. and a wonderful holiday season. A reading. Undressing architecture is the concept of designing by reduction rather than by addition. I have an abiding interest in simplicity, as well as reducing ideas and solutions down to a clear and rational expression. I've used the term essentialism, an explorative idea of eliminating the unessential or undressing, leaving only the elements that ultimately define the space. I disagree with the concept of dressing up a design order to embellish or decorate architecture. By eliminating the unessential, we create an architecture that is defined by the simplest of means. In this manner, people who occupy the space, the furniture, the art, and the movement of light become the ornaments. This is naked architecture. Guy Peterson, Naked, the Architecture of Guy Peterson. A question. Who got you your favorite Christmas present? Oh. And congratulations on the build start, boys.
Toodles.
I'll answer the question first.
Yeah.
Who got me the best Christmas present? Myself. Bought myself a book.
Nice.
So, how about you?
You know what? The only Christmas present I wanted was to be digging, and we were digging, and that was it. So I guess you and I got each other the best gift, plus
like
a bunch of wealthy capitalists.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that quote. I wonder if Guy Peterson took that, read Essentialism, and then, because there's a book called that, and then applied it to architecture. Maybe this predated it. I don't know. But a thought hit me. So, butterfly roofs, right? We're doing one.
I'm doing one.
You're doing one. I saw a cool one on Arc Daily, and I already have this, floor plan of a house idea, and I was like, oh, a butterfly roof would be cool. And I almost want to strip it and be like, okay, I already know the floor plan. I want to design just a butterfly roof. And then I want to do a drop soffit, right? But not a traditional one, like a wood one. And then use the concept that Tesla's using for their fans on their front. You know how you have, 4 fans on the front of your Suburban, right? And you can point them. Well, they do a line, right? So it's spread out, so it's even. It's like, man, that'd be a cool way to do a drop soffit. If you had a duct coming up, hit something so it goes off to the sides, and it perforates into bigger and bigger circles. And that breeze comes over you instead of, just this out of 2 places, this heavy flow, you spread it out. And it just reminded me of the saying essentialism, boiling a design down to, I'm going to start opposite on the roof, move down from there.
I like it. You know what's going to happen after we sell the development and you have money and you're going to spend it?
What?
Then you're going to design and build your own house.
Probably.
Just saying.
Probably.
Just saying. Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, Nicholas. We're excited for you too, sir.
Yeah.
Well, there's no ARE Jeopardy today because
we're doing this late because someone forgot the mic.
Oh, man. First name starts with Pal. Rhymes with Pal. Last name Boar.
Yeah. We're not going to name names here. We're not those kind of people, okay? But someone forgot the mic and had to drive back home and get it.
Yeah, so that's that.
So all I have is a couple of things.
Okay.
Visit for your own sake Enscape3D.com and bimsmith.com. Buy the creativity code if you like architecture for yourself. Get yourself your best gift. Even though it's after you're disappointed, you didn't get what you want, go get that. If you want to learn Revit, go to RevitRocketship.com. That's all I got, Lance. What do you got?
It is so good to be back. I'm just happy to be back on the podcast, talking with Al again. But if you'd like to support the podcast directly to us, go to facebook.com/InsideTheFirm/shop. And we have a brand new shop with really cool merch. Take a look at it. I know Nick from Nick Reed's got a bunch for Christmas from his besties, and he's wearing that swag. So that's that.
Yeah, why didn't he say we got him the best gifts?
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
He'll give us a little credit. Okay. We'll talk to you next week.